It is the world's simplest villager breeder, but this time it is expandable. You can turn it on and off. You can stop witches from forming inside it. Baby villagers won't get stuck in the fences, and you can switch from population mode to collection mode. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. Now today we're going to do a bit of a revisit. I've been asked to revisit a few of the farms, and this one I've especially been asked to revisit, which is quite surprising given that I actually only did it, I think, about 4 or 5 months ago. So it still works. It's not broken. It still works. But people are really interested to understand ways in which they can do a number of things with this farm. One of them is, how do they expand it? Another is, how can they turn it off if they've had enough? And also, how can they make the baby villagers run out without getting trapped under the fences? These are all really good questions, and I'm going to give you some really good answers. So we're going to construct the villager farm. Yep, we are going to make a villager breeder today, and we're going to make it so as it is upgraded from the last one. It is ridiculously simple. Totally mad how simple this is, but works really, really well. And you can do all of these things: expand, turn off, and make sure the villagers do always go into the hole and don't grow up in places you don't want them to. So let's crack on with it. Now, the first part of this farm, like the first part of the last farm, is very, very simple. We're going to do it ever so slightly differently, but it is very, very simple. I want you to get yourself a row of holes, 5 across, and then come inside and dig 5 down. So we're 1 down now, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then dig this whole lot out so as you've got a 5 deep hole that runs the entire length of this channel that you've got there. That's perfect. Now pick any end, shove yourself 3 ladders going up that way, and also get yourself trapdoors running along at the top of the hole. Can't quite reach. Yes, I can. There we go. 3, 4 and 5. Open them up because you want them open for now. Then in the side that you've put the trapdoors, I want you to dig into this cavity, and I want it to be 2 high, please. And I want you to dig in 3 like that, and then the next one indent just a little bit. So keep these bits here. I want you to put 3 torches along the back there. That's perfect. And then get yourself some doors and run 5 doors in rows of 3. So you've got 15 doors altogether. Then come up and you're ready to shove yourself a villager down inside that hole. And it's a number of different ways in which you can get your villagers. This is not a tutorial as to how to get your villagers to your farm, but there's a number of ways. The first is to actually do it inside a village. But if you do, knock out any wooden door. Boom. Every single one of them, or you're going to break your village. And there's a couple of other ways that you can transport them too. You could nudge them all the way. You could end up hurting your nose or their nose, but you'll get there eventually. I don't recommend it, but it's definitely an option. You can transport them in a boat, but I've got to be honest, I find that quite hard work, and you need some pistons and stuff like that. My favourite way is to send them off in a minecart. This guy's name's George. See you later, George. Bye. Once you've got your fella in there, he is going to validate all of those doors. And the reason for that is these doors have less blocks facing the sky on this side of them than they do on this side of them. And with a villager looking at them, that makes them a valid door. Now you can then close up using these trapdoors. These trapdoors don't count as a block as far as those doors are concerned. They can still see the sky. Don't use any other blocks. Use a trapdoor. It really is the best one to use. And that is the first bit. Now we're going to do something similar to that which we did with the last farm, but we're going to make a larger farming area. This is going to make the farm self-financing, self-powering, whatever you might like to call it. With a brown coat villager, this farm will just keep going and going and going for as long as you want it to. Come to the middle trapdoor and count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 5th one, make an hole. Shove a bucket of water in, and on the top, not the bottom, but on the top inside of that, shove in a wooden slab. Use a wooden slab simply because it's a little more rustic looking. You don't have to be a wooden slab. You could be a wooden step. You could be a stone slab, up to you. But the water is still there because in 114, this is a waterlogged block. 113 onwards, a waterlogged block is there. And that will mean when you hoe, you get good irrigation on those blocks. So come out 4 in each direction like that, and then make yourself a little diamond shape like that. So you've got absolutely stacks of farming land there, and they're going to irrigate really, really nicely. Then get yourself, I recommend carrots, but you don't have to use carrots. You could use potatoes, you could use beetroot, whatever you would like. I definitely recommend carrots or beetroot. However, I don't recommend you use wheat, because wheat tends not to be as effective. Don't use anything else. Just try to use carrots or potatoes or beet, and that will work really, really well. That's way, way, way more than actually you're probably going to need for this farm. So that's that part sorted. Then what I want you to do is I want you to come along past the end of this one. I want you to count 1, 2, 3. Dig out that hole. Just dig it out. Don't do anything else with it just yet. Just dig it out. And then count 1, 2, 3. And then the next one, I want you to put a glass block. It doesn't have to be glass, but again, I like glass because then you can see through it. So you've got 3 and then the glass. Then come out 3 one way. Come out 3 the other way. Come down until you're level with that hole, and then come down until you're level with the hole. Dig that out. Okay, so that is going to be our lure chamber. We're going to be luring the baby villagers out of this area when they've had a baby and into this area, and we're going to do it by using an iron golem. Iron golems, for whatever reason, appear to be very attractive to baby villagers, and there is a good chance, not an absolute perfect chance, but a good chance that they will come a-running and going in there to meet up with Mr. Golem. And that's what you really want, to be honest. You want the villagers, or the baby villagers, to run across this way, because this is where they're going to meet their sticky end. Now, I'm showing you one method now of getting the baby villagers out, and that is this system. I'm not going to build it block for block for you, but I am going to show you how it works so you can do it. So you've got your trench, then you've got your glass wall, and then on the other side of this glass wall, one inside, I want you to dig 2 wide and 2 deep. So like that. And then another one here, so you've got kind of like an L shape, 2 deep, and then 1 deep. There. At the bottom of that corner, put a powered rail, then put a normal rail, then put a normal rail, then put a lever next to the powered rail and turn the lever on. Then what you're going to do here is you're going to put another block next to the surface here, so this grass block that this detector rail is under, another block there, and a block next to it. You're then going to put a dispenser, not a dropper, a dispenser facing this direction. You're going to put into it a hopper, and on top of that hopper a chest. On top of this piece of dirt here, or whatever block you've used, put a single dot of redstone, and then you can put another power rail here, the detector rail here, and another rail next to it, a normal rail, not a powered rail. Put a lever here and turn it on. That lever there should now be turned on. And then what you do is you dig yourself with a powered rail here that I'm yet to power. I'll power that in just a second. That has got a track running away from it off to whatever storage chamber you're going to have for your baby villagers. Make sure you do power that rail. Actually, I'm going to do that now. So let's power that rail properly. And you come underneath it and you get yourself a lever, shove the lever underneath, turn it on, and then you can just tower yourself back up again, shove a torch in here so as it keeps it nice and light. That powers the rails, and the rails go off to whatever system it is you are using. Then I need you to go around with a single layer at the moment of whatever block you want. I like to use glass so as I can see through it, and then come all the way back down here and then cover this glass off all the way there. I would then also shove a block there just to cover up that lever and shove in a torch like that. That is the system. And then what you can do is you can just fill this hopper up here with mine carts, and that will give you, I mean, literally fill the entire chest so as the hopper's full and the dispenser's full. You see the dispenser's now full, the hopper's only got one in it. I could put loads more in there, and that way it lasts for ages. Then we're going to come around this side. We're going to dig this down one more all the way along, and also that one underneath the block there, and put a bucket of water in there. That will run the water all the way to underneath that, which is the direct diagonal corner of that. Get yourself another minecart, shove a minecart on there, and that will go backwards and forwards pretty much forever until it picks up a villager that has been pushed all the way across there. This is where you get your trapdoors. Shove yourself a trapdoor there and open it there and open it there and open it there and open it there and open it. That is our trap ready and set. From here on out, it's pretty simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some gates, wooden gates. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 wooden gates, cutting across and blocking out that exit channel. Next to them, we're shoving 2 wooden blocks, purely because it keeps it looking rustic. A wooden block on the top, and then run all the way along like that. And then on top of that, we're going to get some redstone, and we're going to run a redstone line all the way across to that, not that last one, but that one there. We're going to shove a lever on that side, so when we throw the lever, it opens up the gates, and when we close the lever, the gates close up again. What that allows us to do is to breed up our baby villagers until we've got, I don't know, as many as you want in here. You could have 4, you could have 6, you could have 8, it's up to you. The more you've got in here, the greater the speed of villager production you're going to have. So it's completely up to you. You can breed a few, and if you need some baby villagers, whack that off. The baby villagers will be able to get collected, and if you think, oh no, I want to be able to stock up on my villagers in here, turn it off. It will lock them off, and the villagers will grow up in the farm. Really, really simple. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our normal oak fence, and we are going to trim around the village. So we're going to come in until we hit this corner here. Then we're going to come out and in and out, and then we're going to come all the way along until we come one past that trapdoor system, all the way along. So it's a 1, 2, and then we hit the trapdoors, and then 1, 2 more, and then turn the corner, come all the way up, and then on this side again, come down until you hit that corner, come out, in and out. And that is the size of the living space of our farm. Then I recommend you build yourself a safety net, which is nothing more than coming around an extra layer all the way around your farm with another set of fences. What that's going to do is that's going to mean if any zombies come along, they can't reach through the fence, because you'll be surprised what a zombie can do. I can't reach through the fence to any stupid villagers that are sat just being stupid next to the fence, and basically they won't get eaten a lot. There you go. And that is your safety area right there. Shove yourself some torches inside here. That way you won't get any zombies spawning inside your safety area. Come all the way around there like that. Okay, so that's nice and safe now. And now what we need to do is create the system that allows us to switch the farm off. So what's good about this bit of the system is not only does it allow you to turn on and off the breeder, so as it either keeps breeding out villagers or stops breeding villagers should you ever want to, it also acts as the safety mechanism so the villagers don't turn into witches in the thunderstorm, which is brilliant. So come on top and next to your trapdoor there and there, and tower up 3 high. 3 high like that. That's brilliant. And then on top of this, what we're going to do is we're going to do a lower slab like this, but we're going to create a hole all the way around where those trapdoors are, because we want those trapdoors to stay basically seeing the sky. So they're above here, they can still see the sky, they remain valid. Then what we're going to do is we are going to create effectively what is a roof all the way around to the width of pretty much the outside poles here, because then what we can do is we can go up 1 and 2. We can use this so as we don't defy gravity, and it makes me feel slightly better about myself. So if we come up here, put 1, oh, not there though, 1 and 2, we can then bring that roof out until it hits over that pole and it looks like it's supported like that. So I'm just going to finish off this roof and I'll be back in a sec. So the roof area is in. It actually makes it look quite nice as well. You've got your 2 wooden pillars there. It looks quite attractive. Then what we're going to do is we are going to come this side here, so the kind of the outer side of the farm, and we're going to shove 2 more half slabs across there. We're then going to get ourselves any wooden block. I use that wooden block would be good. So get ready with that wooden block, but get yourself a sticky piston. Get your sticky piston so as it faces towards you or towards the back, like that. Then the wooden blocks that you've got ready, shove them over like that. They are going to be the firing pins, the blockers, the stopperers, the unsensitizers and the invalidators of this farm. And then what you do is come along this side again, get yourself another row of blocks, another row of wood, get yourself some redstone running across the back of that and down onto that roof. We're going to connect that up in a moment. Dead simple, because if you come down here and you shove in a lever, you can throw that lever, that invalidates the doors, take the lever off, and the doors are open to the sky again, and within about 60 seconds they will revalidate. Very simple. Next stage, bring up this glass to another 1 high all the way around to here. I would also recommend that you actually get this area 2 high as well. It just stops any nasties from being able to get into that rail system, plus any other mobs as well for that matter. Any sheep or chickens and stuff like that don't fall in as well, which can be very annoying. So get that 2 high as well. I'll be back when I'm done. We are very nearly finished. Get this chamber here another 1 high like this, bringing it pretty much level with the ceiling. We're going to do something with that in a minute. Then come inside and get yourself your iron blocks and your carved pumpkin head. Now in the middle of it, don't go near the walls. I need you to come up. Now actually, let's make it survival friendly. We'll have a wooden block, then we'll have 1, 2, 1 arm, 2 arms, and then come up and put his head on. You have got 1 iron golem. Don't hit him, he gets really grumpy. Shove him there. He will sit in there and essentially act as bait for your little men that want to come along. What I would also recommend is, just in case that iron golem loses a little bit of weight and decides he wants to go in the hole, shove 5 blocks there, and that will stop that iron golem from going in that hole because he won't be able to get in it. Dead simple. Then you want to roof it off in exactly the same way as you had the other one. Half slabs bottom half slab specifically, meaning that no mobs can spawn on top of the roof, just to stop, I don't know, people getting a bit of a headache because there's creepers walking all over their roof or skellies or whatever. That's perfect. The iron golem there is perfectly safe. I forgot to put a torch in there. Do put a torch in there with him just to light the whole place up. That would be good. And he is ready to call on the baby villagers when they come along. The next thing to do is nothing more than get yourself a couple of villagers inside here using exactly the same method that you got your villager down in the pit as well. So I'll be back when we've got a couple of villagers in there as well. So make sure your fellas have got plenty of food. Look, there's already a load of love hearts going on there. They are getting a little bit amorous already. They're liking each other. The nitwit there doesn't really fancy the dude in the white coat, probably because of the size of his nose. And these guys, yeah, they're having a nice old chat. Maybe they're going to go and have dinner. I don't know. Dinner being a few carrots. No, the brown coat has decided he doesn't like the nitwit either. Now, at the moment, I've got this thing completely closed off. Let me just shove it. I've got this thing completely closed off. The gates at the top are closed. You can see that there. And we can let the babies breed up. Look, the hearts are still coming. The babies can breed up. And once the babies have bred up and we've got what we think is enough villagers in our villager farm, we can open it up and that fella will then allow the baby villagers to fall through. Oh, we got a little baby villager there. He's already come along. Hello, little baby villager. He says, hello, Daddy. I like your green coat. That's a really nice coat. And that is how your villagers keep breeding. So we've got a few villagers now. Look, they're still getting funky in the corner. Look, we've got a few villagers now, including some baby villagers there still. I think it's time for us to open up these gates and let's see whether or not we can't get a little bit of interest. Now, the baby villagers do sometimes take a bit of time to register the golems, and also sometimes it's quite nice to be able to get the golems to hold a poppy. Look, oh, that fella's seen him. He's saying, hang on a minute, what's going on there? Is that a golem? That's a big scary dude in that little cage there. I think I might have a look at you. And they think about it for a while, and then after a little while the babies do run through the gap. I promise it does happen. Sometimes it makes you think it doesn't, but it does. And if you can get, as I say, the golems to hold a poppy, the babies like them even more. So that is the really simple way of doing it. So I'm going to come around this side here. So we've got another baby just popped out there. And we're just going to sit by the exit system and wait for one of these fellas to pop through. And did you see that? Off he went. He was quite happy. He's probably not going to be so happy because in my disposal system, I've got a really hot bath for them, bless them. But at that point, they run off into whatever disposal system or storage system or whatever it is you might like after having fallen down the hole. And you can see it quite nicely there that the hole is just the other side of the gates, and that is how they fall through. A dead simple farm. It is an upgrade on the previous one. It doesn't have the challenges of witches. It doesn't have the challenges of having no way of being able to turn the farm off. It doesn't have the challenges of the babies getting stuck and growing up in the gaps where the fences aren't. All in all, it doesn't really have any of the challenges. It is a nice little system. You might want to put a little bit more light in there if you so choose, entirely up to you. So a bit of an upgrade to the last. Look, there's still hearts going all over the place in the background. There's still a bit of an upgrade to the last one. It has a reasonable production rate, and obviously the more villagers you've got in the farm, the more baby villagers you're going to be producing. And as soon as you've opened those gates, you'll find the baby villagers start to go through there faster and faster until you get a nice old stash of villagers in whatever villager storage system you've got. Make sure your villager storage system is a good distance away, minimum of 32, ideally 64 blocks away from this breeder. That's what you want. If you've enjoyed the video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying them, and perhaps I'll keep on making the remakes. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.